Hey all, so I'm back to working on the LeBaron today. Today's job is CV axles. This is the last of the quote-unquote major mechanical things I need to fix on the car before I can drive it on the road. So what do we have here? So in 1985, Chrysler sourced axles from 3 different vendors. Here's the shop manual. You've got ACI, which is what I've got. You've got GKN, and you've got, believe it or not, Citroen. And you identify them by the shapes of the boots. See? So what I have are ACI axles in my car. And when I was working on the car, I found that there was some damage to these boots. I don't know if this is going to pick up on camera, but there's some cracking going on this boot and some on the boot on the driver's side axle. But on this inner axle, the boot was completely torn in half, and the grease is very hardened. And what I have found by looking inside the cup here, I don't know if you can see it, like right there, there are little metal tabs that hold this into the cup from the factory. You see how these tabs have been bent up so that this assembly can just slide out of here? This means that this end of the axle has been worked on before, because once you bend these tabs up to get this out, you do not bend them back. So this end has been worked on before. There was no clamp on the boot, and the boot was torn in half. So that's been worked on before. So what I need to do is, for all 4 of these joints, I'm going to disassemble them, I'm going to clean them thoroughly, and I'm going to re-grease them. And I've got some new boots over here, and I'm going to rebuild these bad boys. I've not done this before, but I don't think it's going to be particularly difficult. So I'm in the middle of this, I'm getting ready to take a break, and I wanted to show a few things to you. So on the inner side, remember I was talking about those tabs that had to get bent? There's a better look of them. You can see that they're bent back enough that the rollers can pop out, but you don't bend those tabs back. On the driver's side cup, they hadn't been bent back completely, so I don't think that the driver's side had been serviced, only the passenger side. The passenger side, where the ripped boot was, that's down there soaking in mineral spirits trying to get the grease out of it. The other thing I found, which kind of irked me, is that on the driver's side CV axle there's a damper, which is great. You know, good job, Chrysler. But focus. See the fasteners they use for this? Those are tri-square sockets. I have the inverse of those, the male side, but I don't have the female side. So I think what I'm going to have to do is the tri-roller on the driver's side, I'm going to actually have to take the circlip off and knock this off the shaft so that I can get the boot on for this end. Great. Okay, it's near dinner time and I'm calling it a day. So this is the driver's side CV axle. I got the outer one done, had to disassemble it completely, got all the little grease out, new grease, new boot, that's fine. The inner one's being a problem because these are universal replacement boots from Dorman, and what I've learned is that the clamps that they included with these boots are a weird design that requires a special tool to wind them up and you hammer them in place or something. They're 7mm wide. I bought some Edeker style clamps, which are the ones that I prefer using. The problem is these are 9mm wide, and while the original CV boot would take a 9mm wide clamp, the Dorman replacements only use 7. It doesn't fit right, and I want it to fit right so it stays in place. So I have to get some more proper clamps for this. So it's going to be a couple of days. Tomorrow is July 4th, so it's a holiday. Also, the passenger side inner joint I talked about before that had all the dried up grease in it, I gotta let that soak for a while. Those wheels that are in there have lots of little needle bearings in them, and they're just kind of frozen in place because of that crappy grease, so I gotta find a way to get that grease out, and you can't remove those wheels from the hub. So I'm not sure if soaking this for a day or 2 is going to do the job. I'll give it a try. Hopefully that does something. And the other final thing I'll mention is that, you know how I talked before about there were little tabs and you bend them back so you can get this apart, but you don't bend them You bend them out of the way so you can get this apart, but you're not supposed to bend them back to lock the wheels into this case. I had to bend them back to lock the wheels into the case because there's a spring in here, and when you're trying to put this together, the spring is pushing that whole joint out of the case. Once it's in the car, it's not a problem. It's held in place by the hub. But trying to assemble it on the bench, those wheels kept coming out, and it was just a pain in the ass trying to get this boot in place. So I bent those tabs back, and I'm going to hope for the best. So that's where I am right now. I'll probably take a day or two to get the clamps. Once I have them, I will come back and give you an update. Hopefully get this one done, and hopefully that joint up there frees up and I can get that one done. So it's a few days later and I have an update for you. The driver's side axle is done. I ended up having to buy the tool that would allow me to install the band clamps that came with this boot. Pinch clamps aren't available that would work with this boot. Not a big deal. So this is done. The passenger side axle is another story. The end that I had soaking in mineral spirits, this is called the tripod, soaked for a day, removed it, finished removing the old grease with brake clean, and found that the needle bearings in here are seized up and shot. Now I think what happened was when this end was rebuilt in the past, they used the wrong grease. That grease got baked, it solidified, and destroyed these needle bearings. Now the good news is I was able to source a new old stock replacement tripod for this axle, and I think that's going to solve this problem. Just in case it doesn't, I was able to source a name brand replacement aftermarket axle, complete CV axle, for super cheap. So I've got both bases covered. So I'll be back with an update once the new parts come in and I've done some more work on this axle. Okay, the second CV axle is done. I was able to rebuild the outer joint with the new old stock part. That works great. So this is all done. This is the aftermarket replacement one I got from Cardone. It's cool that you can still get these things, but there's two issues. First is, what's the difference between this and this? I don't know what this outer tube is for. It rings hollow. If you know, please put it in the comments. Maybe it's filled with oil or something as a dampener. I don't know. The second issue I found with the aftermarket replacement is the outer joint. It's very stiff and you can kind of hear things grinding a little bit inside, whereas the OEM one is very smooth. I don't know what's going on inside of this. I did pull the boot back. There is grease in there. Maybe it wasn't machined properly, but you know, made in China. But for the price I got it for, I can't complain. If I ever have to replace that, I've got this part. I'll take it apart and figure out what's going on in there. But that's going to go in storage. So now I'm going to take the OEM one back out to the car, get that installed, and hopefully the car is almost drivable now. We'll find out. Okay, so it's several hours later. The CV axles are in the car. Everything's working fine. Got the sway bar reinstalled. While I was waiting for the CV axle parts, I took it upon myself to reseal the thermostat housing for a third time. This time I don't think it's leaking. However, I ran the car for about 10 minutes, played around with it, and I don't think that the radiator fan's turning on. I have to do some investigating on that, so I probably shouldn't drive that until I've verified that the fan still works. I could have sworn last year when I was working on the car, if I turned the AC on in the car, the fan would kick on, and now it's not doing it. So I need to look into that. So that's it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. Any comments, questions, please put them below. And hopefully the next video might have me driving this thing. We'll see. Thanks again. Talk to you later.